Hi
So it will
everyone.
stream to your
Well,
Facebook page, right?
yes, it will. Um, Hi everyone. Welcome to another interesting episode of Gist with Essay. If you're joining us on Facebook, please share by creating a watch party so your friends can join us live. Remember to send in your questions for our guests if you have any, and you can also call us via WhatsApp on +447466951641 to speak to our guests directly. Today, we are discussing holistic fertility treatment. Research shows that about 11% of women of childbearing age have difficulties conceiving or carrying their pregnancies to term. Or for some women, the challenge is expanding their family as a result of health issues. Our guests will be shedding light on the various options available to us. Toyin Lolu-Ogunmade is a family building specialist. She's the CEO of Precious Conceptions. She helps parents identify, improve, and maximize their chances of conception. Let's just. Hello, Toyin. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Esse. I'm happy to be here today.
Okay, so I'm waiting for you to join us on Instagram so I can add you to the feed.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Instagram fam. Thank you guys for joining. I can see UK Cottage, Turkey underscore branded productions. Thank you for joining us. My name is Babati. Thank you. That's our loyal, very loyal fam. And thank you, Dili Patel 4201. Hi, how are you doing? So we're just waiting to add our guest on Instagram and then we can get to it. Yeah, Tony, have you seen me on Instagram?
I'm trying to get you. I will.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Um.
You've
Yes.
seen me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. There we go. So our guest is joining us on Instagram in a bit. Yeah,
Hi,
there you
Esse.
are.
Yeah, there you are.
Hi,
Good
thank
to
you so
see
much for
you.
joining
Thank
us.
you so much for joining us. Thank you for having me here on this show today.
You're very welcome. We have
You're
the
very welcome.
echo,
We have
so
the echo,
I'm going to try and mute my device on
I'm
my
going to
end.
try and mute my device on my
Can you hear
end.
me?
Can you hear me? Yes, I can.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, so I think the echo has gone down. Hi, Keda Ace and Cake Cottage, Babati. Please let us know if you guys can hear any echoes so
So
we can go on with the
we can
show.
go
We don't
on
want
with
the
the
echo
show.
getting
We
in
don't
the
want the
way
echo getting in the way
because the gist today is very
because the
hot,
gist is very hot.
very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so let's just wait for
Yeah, so let's
confirmation
just
from
wait
them
for
and then
confirmation from them and then.
because I can
Okay,
hear
I still
you and
have
I can't
some
hear
bit
the
of
echoes.
echo.
Can you hear me well?
Can you hear me well? I can hear you, but I hear. Okay, the echo has reduced now.
Okay, so one of our
Okay,
viewers
so
has said
one
no
of
echo,
our
good to
viewers
go.
said
If
no
you're on
echo, good to
Facebook,
go. If you're on
can you
Facebook,
please let us know?
can you please let us know?
Yeah, I guess it's good to go.
Yeah, I
So,
guess it's good to go. So,
all right, Toyin, let's get
all
started.
right,
Tell us a
Toyin, let's
little
get
about yourself.
started. Tell us a little about yourself. Okay, my name is Toyin Lolu-Ogunmade. Um, I'm a HR specialist by training. Before I
Okay.
started my fertility consulting, And I also was a waiting mom for 13 years. So my
Yes.
journey to motherhood, yes, 13. My journey to motherhood took 13 years. And yeah, so like I said, in my first life, I was a HR consultant,
Okay.
and I worked with several companies, oil and gas, media, trading, non-banking financial institutions, and all of that. But during my time as a waiting mother, I decided I was going to do something and step into the fertility management space because of what I experienced.
Okay.
And I found a gap in that space, especially when it comes to fertility, counseling, advisory, and the holistic approach to, managing infertility. So I found that space and I decided to step into that gap. And 7 years ago, I started Precious Conceptions. And that is what I do full time now. So at Precious Conceptions, what we do is family building,
Okay.
holistic family building consultancy. So we are not a clinic, we are a consultancy services provider in a holistic manner. Because we believe that when infertility affects someone, it affects the entire, it affects you everywhere. So it's not just your inability to have children, it also affects your emotions, your relationships, your finances, your mindset, your wellness, even your faith in God.
Yeah.
So I decided to bring that holistic approach into infertility management because that was how I got my help.
Okay.
That was the breaking point for me because I had tried and tried and tried and it didn't work. And then when I went holistic, bam.
Wow.
So that's what I do now. Yes.
That's a very interesting story. Okay, before we go into the holistic further, what are the common causes of infertility?
There are several. Um, there are several. Okay, for some, it's their lifestyle, their habits.
Okay.
Some
Okay.
smoke, some drink, some are overweight.
Oh, okay.
Now, one thing I want us to understand is that infertility is the inability of a particular couple
Okay.
to have children after 12 months of consistently trying without contraception.
Oh, okay.
So for some people they can't just get pregnant after 1 month, after 12 months of trying consistently, and then we suspect infertility and then begin to troubleshoot what might be the issues. Yeah.
Okay.
So for
Yeah.
some people they only need to adjust their lifestyle. For some people they need to watch, particularly the woman when she ovulates and she can time her intercourse. But like you said, what can cause infertility? We find out that in Nigeria it's because there's a lot of previously untreated sexually transmitted diseases. So that
Okay.
is a major cause. So if there is a sexually transmitted disease that was not resolved, that was not handled properly, it can go and lock in one corner and then affect that couple. Okay. Another is lifestyle. Like I said, for some people, they drink, they smoke, they are obese. And when all of this happens, it impacts negatively on the person's ability to have children. For some, it's because they have other issues. Like for the man, they have basically it's sperm related issues for the man. It's either he's not producing enough quantity or quality, or the sperm does not have the basic shape and structure, or the man does not have any sperm at all. Because some don't have sperms at all. At
Okay.
all.
I'm hearing that for the
Okay.
first time. Really?
Some don't know, some don't have. Semen is not sperm. Semen is different from sperm. So what the man ejaculates, what a man ejaculates is semen. It's not it. Okay, so the semen contains sperm normally, averagely, plus other elements, other things, sucrose and other things. But for some men, they don't have sperm in their semen. It's only semen with all the other things, excluding sperm. So for men, it's generally sperm issues. For women, it's a bit more complex. It's either the woman is not ovulating, or the woman is ovulating and is not she's not timing her intercourse properly, or her uterus is not conducive enough to receive the embryo, or it is that she has some cervical hostility in one way or the other, and her cervical mucus is not friendly to the sperm. So it's a whole bunch of issues that could be wrong. Therefore, we have male factor infertility, we have female factor infertility, and then in some cases, both the man and the wife have some form of issues. So we have them, both of them having some form of issues. And in some cases, we really cannot pinpoint and say this is what the matter is. And so the doctor will say unexplained infertility. Unexplained because, yeah, we really can't put a finger on it. We've run all the tests, we can't find a diagnosis, and so we classify them as unexplained. So it's interesting to note that male factor and female factor in infertility account for like 40% each. So
Wow.
we can't say it's the woman's fault that the couple does not have a baby, or is the man's fault. It is that the couple has not been able to achieve a pregnancy together. Interestingly, some
Okay.
will separate, go and have intercourse with other partners, and they will achieve pregnancy. Sometimes it happens like that sometimes.
Yeah, I've heard a story like that. In fact, when I was a kid, it happened to a family friend of ours. She was married to her husband for years, and they were so in love. They refused to leave each other. But I think the doctors had been saying, telling them that probably that was the cause. The minute they got separated, they both had kids. But we're too young
Mm-hmm.
to understand because we were just like, oh no, but then love, why you don't have to, Yeah, so
Yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
but
That makes sense.
fortunately we have treatment options that can help them. So if,
Oh,
for instance, they had been counseled, they had been advised, and they had seen the right specialist, for instance, most likely they wouldn't have separated. They would have done a bypass treatment. So there's a lot of involvement now in medicine and in science, and a lot of these things can be bypassed, and they will still be able to have a child.
okay, okay, good. So,
Yes.
what's the first line of treatment for people who
Hey,
have infertility?
hey, that is really difficult.
Really?
Because again, we have to isolate and say what is causing this issue. Yeah. But it starts with testing. So I always advise, let the man get tested first. Once the man is tested, because it's just basic sperm parameters we're looking at. Once the man
Mm-hmm.
is tested, then we'll know whether he's the one that needs help, or whether we should concentrate
Okay.
on the woman. And then we will decide what sort of help they need. A lot of people can still conceive in their bedrooms if with just a little help, once we know what the issue is. So I always say let the man get tested first. Let's even know whether it's sperm related issues. But if you're looking at treatment, I recommend holistic. And this is why I say holistic. And this is what I mean by holistic. Holistic involves you looking at your lifestyle, your diet, your weight management. Mm? So for some people, once they're able to lose weight, spontaneously they conceive. It's amazing, especially people with PCOS. And in this part of the world, we have a lot of people who say they have hormonal imbalance, PCOS. Once they lose the weight and they lose it sensibly, about 10% to 20% of them conceive spontaneously without any help whatsoever. Some will tell
Yeah.
you, I got pregnant after I fasted and prayed. You were fasting and you were praying. You lost weight.
Wait.
Do you get me? You lost weight. You took a bit more care at what you were eating during that period, and you were
True.
praying, and your mind was open, and your belief level was very high. So once the weight goes down, once the sugar in your body goes down, and your hormones get balanced, a lot of the time women get pregnant spontaneously. I am not negating the place of fasting and prayer. I'm a Christian. to the core.
Yeah.
So I have not said that to negate, but I'm saying even with fasting and prayer, there's always the science behind the things that happen apart from the miraculous. Some is just miraculous, and you can't negate that, you know. So for them, I say holistic, because then we are looking at your diet, we are looking at your lifestyle, and we are balancing, and then we now go into all the tests and see who needs a bit more care, who needs a
Okay.
bit more help, and then we go forward and provide.
Okay. Great. So that's what holistic treatment
Yes,
is all
because it
about.
takes it takes a look at your diet, your lifestyle, your wellness, your faith level, and then the best treatment approach that you will need.
Great. Great. You had your children through surrogacy. Can you please take us
Yes.
through your experience?
Ah, that journey took 13 years.
Yeah.
So I always say that I sorry, you
Yeah,
wanted to
I'm
say
really
something?
interested because, 13 years in a Nigerian family. I want to know what your in-laws were, how they were handling it, how it was for you, for your husband, how it was for you mentally, not just the emotional, talking and all that. I would really like to know how that feels.
Okay, 13 years is not beans, it's not more money. Hmm? But I can say I had an easy ride, because I had a community behind me, cheering me on, rooting me on, supporting me with their love and prayers. My in-laws are fantastic people.
Wow.
They never disturbed me for one day. So even at some
Okay.
point when it was looking like I was not serious, I was not doing anything about it, they were the ones pushing me. What are you going to do? What is it IVF that you have to do? Is it adoption that you have to do? Go and do something and have baby now. You know. So they were encouraging and pushing. They were not in any way antagonistic or hostile. No. And my husband also did a very good job, um which word can I use? Right? Is it circumscribing me? He surrounded me with his calmness. He was very
Mm.
calm about it, sometimes to the point of, what is it? Are you not even, don't you even want a child for me? And I'll scream, and I'm like, you're too laid back about this thing. But he was very calm about it. He was like, look, we're still a family, there's still a marriage, even without a child, and
Mm.
you're more important to me than whatever number of children we're going to have, and we're going to have children. So I want you to calm down and just trust God through this process. And one day you'll wake up, you'll be a mother. Initially, he didn't agree for us to go the medical way for IVF, not to even talk about surrogacy. He wanted me to just wake up one morning and I'm pregnant, and that never happened.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I developed fibroids at the very early stage of our marriage. A year into our marriage, I developed fibroids, and they were so traumatic. I thought I could manage them. I managed them for like 6 years. When I couldn't, when we weren't making a headway with them, and it was causing me unnecessary and undue pain, we decided we'll go into surgery, and I went into surgery, and it backfired. Unfortunately, I developed a complication, yeah, from that surgery, and I lost my ability to conceive. So that's basically my story. So it was it's been a tough time. Let me say, because I didn't realize that I developed complications from the surgery on
Okay.
time. I suspected something was wrong, because 6 weeks after surgery, I just kept having this funny bleeding episodes, and all of that went on for like 14 months after the surgery, and I kept going back to the hospital, and they never got it right. So it didn't occur to me that I could develop additions, or there could be some more complications from that. And it took me
Mm.
another 3 years to realize that I had developed severe Asherman syndrome. and I had to go through 3 corrective surgeries back to back, trying to rectify what was done, and it didn't work. So surrogacy was my only option. That was the
Wow.
only way for me to be a biological mother. The other way out for me was to have adopted.
Okay.
Um, I was 38 at that time, and I felt I still had chances of using my own egg. So surrogacy
Okay.
was easily, yeah, not so easily. Surrogacy was appealing a bit more than adoption for me because I felt, yes, I still have chances of using my eggs. And yeah, it was a struggle, but that was my choice. So I had gone through 2 back-to-back surgeries in Nigeria that didn't work. And then I opened up a discussion with a doctor in India, hoping that I would go to India and go through one surgery and then wake up one day and discover, yay, my womb is fine, I can carry a
Yeah.
pregnancy. And so when the Nigerian doctor spoke to me about surrogacy, um I wasn't readily open to it. I still wanted to try. So it took me a while. We got to India, but we got to India and the doctor was like, no, this is the only way out for you. There's nothing that can grow in this uterus. So it was face to face with reality. And I was in India. I didn't want to come back to Nigeria. So I stayed on in India and used Indian surrogates.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you were in India for how long?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
Wow.
It took me 2 years and 3 IVF cycles before we got our
Even
success.
with the surrogates.
So it's not automatic. Like I said, it's okay. So I thought it was automatic, and then we went through
That's what I
IVF.
was thinking.
No, 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 no. It wasn't because so many things were wrong with me. So many things were wrong. I didn't realize I had PCOS because no doctor had told me in Nigeria I had PCOS. It wasn't even showing. It wasn't okay. Now that I know better, now that I work in this field, I can take a look at myself and say, okay, yes, I see signs of PCOS. But
So
but
what's PCOS again?
PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now
Oh,
that is a huge topic on its own. It affects a lot of women, and a lot of people call it hormonal imbalance, but it's really PCOS.
okay.
And you will have some symptoms. You have people who have hair all over, women who have a lot of testosterone, male-like hormones. They have hair all over hair. They have hair. They have facial hair. Some have acne. I never developed acne. Some of them have a problem with weight, so they add weight. In fact, I used to tell somebody if I smell water, I will add weight. I didn't realize it was PCOS.
Really?
because yeah, because I don't like food that much. But I
Hmm.
kept adding the weight. The weight kept coming up. I didn't just realize what was going on. You get me? So what PCOS does is that it gives the woman immature eggs. Her eggs can't be mature on time. For some of them, they have skipping periods, and I had episodes of skipping periods when I was young, and I would be very happy my period won't show up. I didn't know there was an issue. So for sometimes 2 3 months they won't have a period, and then it comes down the line. So you find some people say, in my family we only ovulate like 3 4 times in a year. It's not normal. It's PCOS
Wow.
because they are not ovulating.
Hmm.
You get me? So I had a lot of issues. I had PCOS going on one side. I had gone
Yeah.
through 3 back-to-back surgeries. They had compromised my ovarian quality because blood supply to my ovaries had become compromised, And then my husband had issues with sperm count, and then of course the Asherman syndrome. So I had a lot of issues going wrong. So the first cycle was a complete failure, complete and total failure. I had like 23, 24 eggs. Only 2 3 barely made it to maturity, and the fertilization rate was poor. It wasn't successful. Same happened in the second cycle. So it was after the second cycle failed that my doctor in India sat down and said, Toyin, do you know what? You are behaving like a typical PCOS patient. And this
Wow.
is what we are going to do. And it sat me down and it took me through the holistic path. And he regulated my diet, he regulated my lifestyle, the exercise, he introduced some herbal medicines into my treatment. It was tough. I lost I lost like 17 kg in 9 months.
Wow.
Yes.
I
I
wish I
went
could do
into
that
a
much.
I will show you. See, I
Honestly,
know
I wish
what
I
to
could.
do. I know what to do, and I teach families who take my course what to do. You can see, because I learned the trick, I saw it firsthand. So it was
Mm.
during my time in India that I trained as a fertility counselor in his establishment. It's an ISO certified
Okay.
hospital, and he was taking me everywhere. Like I was like his shadow. We went everywhere together. He taught me everything, like 90% of what I know about infertility management. We will go into theater. I witnessed several operations, several procedures because I was in training. I wanted to help women to overcome this monster called infertility and demystify it. I understand it like the back of my hand. It doesn't make shakara anymore. Do you understand me? There's no shakara, there's no shakara infertility can do anymore. I understand it like the back. And once you understand your enemy, you defeat that thing. You get,
True.
it's a piece of cake now. But then it cost me blood. So he regulated everything. And it took me 9 months. I went into boot camp. And by the end of 9 months, I said, yes, I am ready. And we went in for the third cycle and it was bang, boom. My surrogate got pregnant. We had a quadruplet conception, but along the line, two of them didn't make it. And then we had twins. Yeah, it's still very painful till today. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. But
Wow.
again, God
Really
had a
lot.
hand in it. So I know that's God's will for my life.
Mm.
So we welcome our twins, a girl and a boy, in February of 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
2012.
so
February 2012. Okay.
yeah, so they're eight
Oh,
years
they
old
are big
now.
kids now.
They are. And they look exactly like me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I should have said it now. What should I just look like your husband from now?
One looks like him, Shinkinin. I gave him the boy. I gave him the
Oh
boy,
dear.
but my girl is my split. My daughter looks exactly like me.
Mm.
She talks like me. She looks like me. She wants to work with me in precious conception. You know, they understand what I do. They understand they were born through surrogacy because I've shared it with them.
Wow, they're just what, age?
Yes,
Wow, okay. And they
they
already
understand.
know.
They know their
That's
surrogate mother. They've spoken with her. We are getting ready to visit her. Once we can fly and travel post COVID, we'll go and say hello to her because we've maintained a relationship over the past 10 years. So she's part of the family. She's someone we deeply love and appreciate, you know. So they know her, they know her, and they're okay with it, you know. So that's my story. And now we help people who are going through infertility to identify. And first you have to identify where your weakness area is and how you can improve it, and then you
okay.
know what your advantage is and how you can maximize it. So I take
Okay.
people who go through precious conception through a boot camp program, exactly the same thing I went to, that I have improved and proven over the years, so that they know exactly what they are dealing with and how they can make a success out of their treatment. And today we have 46 babies on record,
Wow, that's great.
with a lot more on the way.
Yeah.
Some of them were born through surrogacy arrangements in Nigeria. A lot of our
Mhm.
clients go on to become pregnant by themselves and carry their babies to term. And I can say we've had like 90% success at first cycle. A lot of our clients get pregnant at first cycle, which is amazing, you know. So yeah, that is me. And I recently shared my story in my book. My book is out in the market now, my memoir and everything. So this is me.
Yeah, in your book, yeah, Mom at Last.
Yes. So this is me. This is what I do. This is my purpose. This is
Story.
my dream. This is my vision. This is what I do now.
Okay, before I go to the next question, okay, so viewers, please send me your questions if you have any for her. And remember that you can call in on the number +44 7466951641, or just send us a message, and then we'll read your question and give you an answer. This story is very interesting. Um,
It's just
yeah, I know. So I want to know how you're helping people in Nigeria, because we have a lot. There's so many issues. There's so many angles to this. One, a large population of our people in Nigeria do not even subscribe to IVF, let alone surrogacy. A lot of them haven't even come on board with adoption as an option, if you find that you can't have kids on your own. So how have you been able to help people? Are there people that have come to you that have this, that stuck in this belief that, if it's IVF or surrogacy or adoption, then it's not a child. It's not, they don't feel like
oh dear.
Christian, or
See,
even
this
Muslims.
question,
Muslims are like that too.
this this question,
Mm.
hmm, it will it will surprise you how people are. Okay, so the thing is, once you don't understand, what I find is that when people don't understand a process or
Yeah.
the science behind something, they give it all sorts of names. They say
Yeah.
it is ungodly. They say it is anti-God and everything. But what I tell people is, look, Satan is not a life-giving spirit. Satan cannot give life. It is only God that gives life. It is only
Yeah.
God that releases life. And the power that brings a human being to life. See, Essay, you don't understand it. I experienced it firsthand. If you read my
Yeah.
book, I experienced it firsthand. The power that brings a human being to life. It's amazing. It takes God Himself to step into a situation and say, a child is coming into this world. Otherwise, people that have been raped won't have a child, because rape is an evil act. Do you understand me? But God allows conception to happen. So when I started talking about my experience, I didn't even want to share my experience. I say it's the Lord that compelled me. I tell people that is the Lord. I'm hearing some noise. I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe my end. So I tell people
Some
that it's the
echo.
Lord. Yes, it's the Lord that compelled me, because I was sitting down, JJ, and he said I should write it into a book. And I
Yeah.
wrote it into a book. And if that book took me 10 years to write, I cried writing that book because it was relieving trauma that I would rather forget. But I
Oh.
realized that there are a lot of people in this situation, and I needed to speak out and let the people in the religious sections and sectors
Yeah.
understand that it is God that gives life. And one of
True.
the things we do in Precious Conception is to confront a lot of mindsets and break down those mindsets. If you tell me it is not God, I will show to you that it is God, because you will even find surrogacy in the Bible. You find sperm donation in the Bible. I don't know
Really?
about Quran. I'm not a Muslim. Yes, and you will find it in the Bible. And I will sit you down and explain it. Come and prove it to me that I'm telling the wrong thing. And I'll tell you the power that created everything in this world came to me before my children were born. Do you understand? And I have witnessed
Yeah.
it firsthand when dealing with clients. I'll have a client in my room and I'll pray with the client, and God's power will hit this person and the cycle will become successful.
Wow.
It's amazing. So I don't negate the miracle. So if you're working with me as an agency, you will know that Toyin is a Christian and you should be ready to accept that. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I can't stop being a Christian. Okay, so I decided I was going to speak about it, and I started shouting my story from the rooftops. I've granted interviews to a lot of people so that people
Yeah.
can know that there is help. There was one day I
Yeah.
was praying, and the Lord said to me, I am not the one denying them from having children. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
he's the one that created science. Omniscience is his name. Science
I
is in
was
his
going to
name.
say that. Yeah.
His name is omniscience. People call it omniscience. What is science? Something you discover, something that you put a hand on because you have experimented, you have discovered. It's discovery. Nobody created
Yeah.
anything. It's God that creates. You just discover it.
True.
So
He's the one that put
so
the idea into
it's
your head in
not
the
that puts
first
the
place.
idea in your head in the first place. Come on, what are we talking about? When the doctors do everything they need to do and they transfer the embryos back into the uterus, they tell you they've done their best
Yeah.
and you wait. At that point, it is up to God to release life. Oh. There's nothing you can do. If God does not release life, your IVF cycle does not work. It doesn't change him from being God. He's still God.
Okay, so we have Chimiki saying, "How can I wait patiently without anxiety after IVF blastocyst transfer?"
Transfer. Okay, so you are going into IVF. Ideally, you should have had counseling before going into IVF or
Mm.
somewhere along the line when you are going through IVF. Now, what I tell people is when you've done your best, you've given it your best shot, and you've had your transfer, just know you've done your best and just thank God. Breathe, give it to Him. You've done your best. By worrying, you cannot change anything. But there are guidelines you have to follow when you're going through IVF and after. Your diet, the things you allow around you, the contaminants around you, all of those things you still have eliminated. But once the embryos have been transferred, just rest and enjoy, do anything you can do to take your mind off the anxiety. You
Yeah.
understand? For me,
Yeah.
it is singing praise songs. I will praise like 100 songs. Because when I'm worrying, I will just start praising. Or I'll just say, God, have mercy on me.
Yeah.
Oluwashanu for me. That's my favorite prayer.
Yeah.
So I put my mind on the positives. I know that I have done my best and that and I'm thanking him that he has brought me this far, and he's the only one that has my life in his hands. So I'm thanking him for the children that have come, because faith calls the things that be not as though they were. You are calling it to yourself because you can see it with your eyes of faith, and you're just thanking him, and you're happy and you're singing praise songs. If you're not a believer, I say have a positive mental attitude about it all. Go about what you have to do with a lot of positivity, and a lot of good energy. Read books, watch comic movies, something that will make you laugh and forget the stress you are under, and have a good time. But you still watch what you eat, watch the people you associate with, because some people will want to bring you down and make you remember where you're coming from, and you don't need that stress at that time. Avoid stressors, avoid gatherings that will help, that will
Stress
cause
you
you
out.
yes, that will stress you out. You don't need to go for that family event. You don't need to go for that wedding or that baby shower. Don't put yourself under undue pressure. Whatever it is that people are telling you, shut it down and listen to the positivity coming from within you. Shut down every other thing, and all will be fine. Every day can't be for everyone, but definitely there's a day for you, and be hopeful that that day is now. That day is around the corner, and it's now.
Okay. Yeah, so I was going to ask you the hormonal imbalance. Are there simple signs that a person can, symptoms that a person can, see? that will alert them or let them know that, okay, maybe this is why I'm not conceiving, and then they can go for the proper check.
Okay, for some, so it depends on the hormone that is out of sync. For some people, they find out that they lactate, so they have milk
Okay.
coming from their breast, and that is a high level of prolactin. Okay, so it depends on what is causing the hyperprolactinemia. I've seen cases where people have fibroids, and the fibroids are so large, the uterus thinks that the person is pregnant. So it's sending false messages to the brain that this person is pregnant, and they begin to lactate. And the woman goes through fibroid surgery, removes the fibroids, and the milk goes down. I've seen all sorts. I'm not saying that is the case for everybody, yeah. But when there is a high level of prolactin, you need to see a doctor, and the doctor will help balance. But again, I like to go the holistic manner. First, we look at detox. You detox, and then we reset what you are eating and your lifestyle. For some people, it's because, and I'm going to say it here, well, it's controversial, but that is what I know. For some women, it's because their husbands are calling their milk, and their husbands are constantly sucking their breast and calling their milk. And for some people, they've had to stop it, and that situation stops. Now you are surprised. Now, yes, for some people, it's odd. Now, but other hormones can also be out of sync. For instance, in the case of PCOS, when you have women that are not producing eggs that are mature, then you need to look at it a bit closely, because PCOS can be really nasty to deal with, but it's also easy to deal with once you know it is PCOS. So for those people, again, like I said, they add weight at will. They find it very difficult losing weight. Some of them have acne, some of them have hair, facial hair. Like me, I have hair all over my chin, my all hair all over my eyes. For some women they have hair. For some women is in they have slow metabolism. So for people with PCOS, they deal with a lot of very slow metabolism, which is why they are not losing the weight, and they have to constantly push their bodies so that their bodies burn. What happens to them is they develop insulin resistance, and they don't utilize sugar. And because they don't utilize sugar in their body, their hormones are out of sync. So for those kind of women, we reset their bodies. First, we bring it down and we reset, and we help them to rev the metabolism so that they are burning and reduce the sugar in their system. So those women will go on a weight management plan, a weight loss plan, so that the ones that they have stored, they lose, and they are able to
Okay.
reduce their metabolism. For some people, unfortunately, they cannot be helped, because again, it's gone beyond hormones. It's now a bit of genetic. One thing I want us to realize, one thing I want us to realize that is that the woman, your eggs as a woman are older than you. It's a sobering fact. Your eggs are older than you. Now my voice is getting low. When my voice is getting low, I'm very serious. Unfortunately, because by the time the girl child is born, she's born endangered already. Her fertility reserve is depleting. She's born with all her ovarian reserve complete, all her eggs. She can't produce more. At least that is how far science has told us. She's not producing more. Rather, on a monthly basis, this thing is depleting, is going down. And unfortunately, it's the very good eggs that get called up month after month after month. And she has like maybe 500 eggs to use in a lifetime out of the like 1.5 million that she has, or 1.2 million, depending on her reserve that she has at reserve. So for the woman, please don't expose yourself to things that will further compromise your fertility reserve, your ovarian reserve. Don't. You must, of necessity, maintain a healthy lifestyle. It has to be a habit. Don't go on weight crashes. You are big today, lean tomorrow. You are crashing. Okay. Don't expose yourself to alcohol, tobacco, drugs. You are depleting your reserve. You are crashing it. And then if you can, have your children on time. If you don't want to have babies yet, there are natural, safe ways of preventing pregnancy rather than taking a lot of harsh chemicals. Again, when I talk about chemicals, the cream you put on your body, the chemicals you spray around you, all of these
Wow.
go into your skin and affect your hormones. So you need to balance all of those and have your babies on time. And when there is a difficulty, you can't have a child on time, quickly get help because at that time it might be reversed. You might still be able to reverse what the situation is.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. How expensive is holistic treatment?
It's not expensive.
Okay, that it's
It's
not
not
expensive. That is
expensive.
very. It depends on who who is listening.
Okay, so why I say it's not expensive is because there are things you can do naturally on your own. Like we have a lot of vegetables around us, a lot of fruits around us, and it's just that we've grown used to sedentary lifestyle. In the olden days, our grandparents used to walk from here to there. They walk for hours. But now it's so convenient for us to jump into our cars and drive even 5 minutes away. So that's why I said it's not expensive. Once you make it a lifestyle, it's easy for you to adjust to because you are consciously reminding yourself that look, you are doing this for your benefit, and it's not just for fertility purposes. It's for you to age, age nicely. All of us will age, but for you to age nicely without the threat of illnesses and diseases. So you have fruits and vegetables. Take them. Don't overcook your vegetables. Make a habit of eating at least like 5 vegetables, fruit portions in a day. You get me?
Yeah.
And then walk. Just walk. Walk. Rather than jump in your car and go 10 minutes, walk. Take like 30 minutes extra and leave the house earlier and walk. By the time you incorporate this, it's a lifestyle. You are not adding the weight. You are happier because you are releasing your feel good hormones. You are happier when you are stressed. You take a walk and you sweat it out. By the time you come back, the person you are quarreling with has probably gone, or you feel too good. You don't even want to quarrel anymore. You get. But when there is an issue and you now need to treat it with a holistic manner, then you start to spend money. So it's best for you not to get to the position of
Point
illness
where
at the point where you will now start to spend money. But again, the money you will spend is to make you feel better, is to reverse the illness as much as possible, and to set you on the right track. Once you are back set on the right track, then you can follow. IVF is expensive. So for it's on the average like 1.4, 1.5 million in most of the facilities. Depending on your age, it can be more expensive. Now
really.
for yes, yes,
Wow. I
depending
didn't
on
know that.
your age, it can be more expensive, particularly if you now need to use donor. You now use a donor who will give you eggs because your eggs are not viable anymore. It goes up to like 2 million you get or more. And it does not have to. Unfortunately, IVF does not always become successful at the first try. In my case, it was the third attempt that worked. So imagine me paying like 2 million back to back 3 times. That's and then paying the surrogate mother. I used 3 different surrogate mothers. It's a lot of money. It cost me like $30,000 at that time. You understand? So if
Yes.
you catch it early, infertility can be reversed. It can be treated if you catch it early. Okay, and what I always advise is before you get married, start working, start preparing your body for conception. Unless you don't want to have children, and that is fine. Start preparing your body for conception. Balance what you eat. Ensure you don't have a sedentary lifestyle. You might even go and get checked and see, hey, is anything wrong? So
Yeah.
that if you need to get on a treatment plan, get on it quickly before it becomes an issue where you now need to do IVF. A lot of if a lot of things are caught earlier, most people won't need to go through IVF, I tell you. But we are too ignorant. No, a lot of us didn't know on time. So that's why.
Wow. This has been very, very informative. There are so many things I didn't even know. But I need to adopt this holistic lifestyle
Yes,
because
yes.
I mean, on the long run, even like you said, even if it's not, about having kids or whatever, just for your general
For
well-being.
your general well-being, you get.
And all over the world, governments all over the world are actually encouraging it.
Yes,
They're actually encouraging
yes,
it. Yes. So,
yes.
like in the UK, you go to the shop, you see on every fruit or vegetables, you see 1 or 5 a day. So you're
Exactly.
constantly reminded that you need to take at least 5,
5 portions.
each day. Yeah,
Yes,
of a day, every day.
yes,
So if
yes,
even if you're picking yogurt, they will tell you it's 1 or 5 a day. If it's
yes,
whatever it is, so that
yes,
is a constant reminder and it helps you.
yes, yes.
Fruits and vegetables. I don't know. Growing up, it was so much fun, though, eating all these things until when they make something compulsory, it becomes
Then
difficult
it
to
becomes a problem. Yes. It then becomes
it.
a problem. Incorporate it and substitute. It will take a while getting used to. And a lot of all of these fast foods don't help. Really.
At
Fast
all.
food, the fast food culture didn't help us at all. And the microwave culture didn't help us at all. In my house now, we hardly use the microwave. We have two in the house, but we hardly use them. I'd rather just take my food from the freezer and put it on fire and let it warm up by itself naturally, defrost and warm up. Because hey, you are exposing yourself to a lot of radiation and all of that. Again, that can be in contention. But when you now start to put your food in microwave in plastic and then you put it in that wave and expose it, then it becomes something else because the plastic leaches into your food. You get. So just take a and you will find that our grandparents in those days, especially those of us in Nigeria, we had grandparents who cooked with earthenware pots,
Yeah.
clay pots. Even their water was in clay pots. It was a lot healthier and they lived longer. I have my great
Yeah.
grandpa lived to like 117 before he passed. But now people are struggling to get to 40. People are struggling to get to 50 because we have a fast food culture, fast culture. AC room, AC house, AC car, AC office, AC
Everything.
everything. We have it. Okay, it will surprise you that some people have infertility because they have vitamin D deficiency,
Wow. Okay.
and we are black people.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you
Wow.
have to balance all of those things. So in when you take your exercise, when you go on your exercise routine, you are exposing yourself to vitamin D. It's helping you. You get sunburn, fine, the sunburn will clear. You don't even need to use sunscreen because you need some amount of sun to give you vitamin D. Just make sure
True.
you cleanse. Just wash your face. Like me, I wash my face like 3 times a day. Just make sure you wash your face and you're fine. And by the time you're going to bed at night, you hydrate and put back the moisture and you're fine. You get me?
Fine.
So all of these things help a lot. Not just for fertility, but you know, slowing down the
General.
aging process and making sure we age really well because we will age. We can't avoid it. Gravity will happen. We will age. We can't avoid it.
Thank you so much, Toyin Lolu-Ogunmade. This has been very, very interesting. Very
Thank you.
interesting. And I hope that everyone that has joined us today has learned a lot. It's not just a thing or two, a lot, about your general well-being, your health, your mental state, your belief
Yes.
system. You need
Yes.
to go back and change your mindset. We've been saying
Yes.
mindset, is key. So no
Yes.
matter what it is that you're stuck with, whatever belief system you're stuck, you need to revisit it. You need to work
Mm-hmm.
on your mindset, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then start to adopt the holistic way of,
Yes.
doing everything.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so
Exactly.
much. It was such a great pleasure to have you on the
Thank you,
show
Esse.
today.
Thank you, Esse. Thank you to our viewers
Thank
as
you
well.
everyone for joining us. Until next time on This with Ete, remember, stay positive, stay happy, stay mended. Bye.